All right. Happy Thursday, everyone. So the trade deadline has come and gone. There were a few moves made, but nothing as big as the McCaffrey to the Niners like we had last year. I looked at the lines again today, but I didn't see any major moves based on those trades. I think the biggest news is that the Raiders fired their head coach, their general manager, and their offensive coordinator. Actually surprised he lasted this long. I thought he was going to get fired last year after they lost to the Colts. If you remember, the Colts had just fired their head coach and then surprised everyone by naming Jeff Saturday as their interim coach. Jeff Saturday was not on their staff at the time. In fact, he was working at ESPN. Not only that, but he had no professional or college coaching experience. In his first game as head coach, they beat the Las Vegas Raiders. I kind of thought that was going to be it for Josh McDaniels, but alas, it wasn't, and he made it a whole nother year from then. All right, a lot of times when a coach is fired, that team plays better in that first game afterwards. It'll be interesting to see how the Raiders perform. The line for that game has actually moved in favor of the Giants. It was Vegas favored by 2.5, and now they're only favored by 1.5. So not a huge move, but it's a move. If they hadn't also just benched Garoppolo, I might be willing to play the Raiders here, just kind of expecting that boost, that surge. I mean, that locker room was just fractured. You could tell players were upset and not happy with the head coach. So I do expect him to play better, but I just don't know if I can trust a rookie QB in this situation. So still got some time to think about that one. The other game I'm interested in following the trades is the Washington Commanders. They traded away two of their starting defensive linemen. How's the rest of the team going to respond, especially the defense? They're 3.5 point underdogs to the Patriots in New England. I'm going to stew on it a little while longer before I make a decision. But right now I'm leaning towards playing the Commanders to cover the spread and maybe win outright. I think this might galvanize the team. And of course, the Patriots are not exactly a great team this year. All right, let's get to the game tonight. The Tennessee Titans at the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are favored by 2.5, and the over-under is set at 36.5. Now, everyone has it set in their minds that the Steelers have this vaunted defense, so it might surprise you to find out that the Steelers give up over 400 yards a game, including 137 yards on the ground. Last week, Travis Etienne rushed for 79 yards against them and had another 88 yards receiving. Royce Freeman and Darrell Henderson combined for 127 yards on the ground against them the week before that. Last week, their star safety Micah Fitzpatrick went down with an injury, and he is out for tonight's game. This defense can be ran against, and the Titans have this running back you might have heard of. His name is King Henry, and he rushed for 100 yards last week against a stout Atlanta defense. He's warming up. Part of the other problem for the Steelers' defense is that their offense has been struggling, and this is forcing their defense to be on the field longer, which is always going to lead to worse numbers for the defense. They get wore out, and it just gives more time for the other offense to just gain yards and get more possessions. So that's another factor there. The Titans are going to be going with their rookie QB, Will Levis, again this week. Tannehill is still out with a sore ankle. My guess is if he had to, he would play, but I think Will Levis played so well last week, it's affording them a chance to let Tannehill sit longer. Of course, if Will Levis plays good again today, I seriously doubt Tannehill gets back on the field. I mean, Levis had 4 touchdown passes last week. He is a rookie, though, and Vrabel is an old-school coach. He is going to want to run the ball and remove some of the pressure from his rookie QB. I think Derrick Henry is going to exceed his rushing prop of 72.5 yards. This is going to be my best wager of the game. DeAndre Hopkins is nursing a sore toe and is on the injury report as questionable. If he plays tonight, though, I expect him to exceed his receiving yardage prop of 53.5. Now, last week, he only had 4 receptions, but they went for 128 yards and 3 touchdowns. He was the main recipient of those that Levis play last week. And again, their starting safety is not going to be playing in this game. So this is another prop I'm going to be playing. And I'm not overly worried at this point about him being questionable, Hopkins. I mean, he's an older receiver. Even last year when he was with the Cardinals, I mean, he hardly practiced during the week, always had a questionable tag, and always still came out and played. So I'm pretty confident he's going to play, and I'm pretty sure in an interview that he did, he said he was going to play. I mean, it's still considered a game time decision, so we'll know for sure 90 minutes before kickoff, but I fully expect him to play. I've already got him in a parlay. Luckily, if he doesn't play for whatever reason, that line just gets voided from the wager, so you don't really lose anything. The only risk would be is if he plays and then aggravates a toe and doesn't play anymore, and then you're kind of on the hook because he started the game. All right. In the two games before the Titans played Atlanta, they had scored 16 points in each of those games. I think this is why the Titans team total is set at just 16.5. I think another reason for that low total is that the Steelers defense is being overvalued. So I'm going to play the Titans over their team total of 16.5. I almost made this one my best bet, so I like this one a lot as well. All right, Will Levis, big, strong QB, but still a rookie. There is no doubt that TJ Watt and that defensive line for the Steelers is going to get pressure on him during those obvious passing downs. He's going to be forced from the pocket, so I expect him to get some rushing yards. His rushing prop is set at 10.5. I think that was on FanDuel. I think I saw it for 9.5 on DraftKings. So I expect him to go over this. I'm going to be playing this prop as well. Speaking of sacks, the prop for TJ Watt to get a sack is set at minus 205. So Vegas thinks he's going to get a sack as well. Not enough value in this one to play it by itself, but it would totally be worth adding, I think, to a same-game parlay. All right. Well, I think Tennessee will not only cover the spread, but possibly win this outright. I'm hesitant to play a side. The Steelers under Tomlin are 7-1 on Thursdays. But if I don't know, if I do play a side, it'll be a smaller wager. But I think I'll play the Titans on the money line just to get some plus money odds. All right. Like always, I went ahead and tossed these into a same-game parlay. The odds ended up at plus 1,000. So we'll see what happens there. Hopefully we can do what we did last week and hit on this one for Thursday night. All right, so I was thinking about doing a Gambling 101 video. I know there's a lot of specialized terms used with gambling that can confuse some people. I know I didn't like asking questions when I first got started, so I did a lot of research on the internet, watched a lot of gambling shows like Daily Wager to kind of learn how to be a better gambler. Not sure if this is something people would be interested in or not. If so, let me know in the comments. I think it might be a kind of a fun video. Like always, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and share with anyone else you feel who might benefit. Good luck tonight on your wagers, and I will post again on Saturday. Thanks!